I went on a cruise recently, and of course one of the things that they do every beginning of a cruise is you get to visit the spa area to see what treatments they have. And there's something special about walking into a spa area. There seems to be lovely music, there's wonderful odors of smell, and everything just seems so relaxed. And I remember this time walking through it and thinking, oh, why isn't the workplace like a spa? But unfortunately it isn't. And unfortunately the workplace is full of people who annoy us and who press our buttons. And so in today's video, I want to talk about and give you some suggestions on how do you deal with those button pressers and how do you make the workplace less confrontational, less toxic, and more like a spa. You know, work would be so easy if we didn't have to deal with people, but unfortunately, the workplace is full of people, and just like human beings, there are other human beings can annoy us, and as I said, press our buttons. So today I want to explore 10 different practices that we can integrate into our daily work lives that will help us respond in a better way to those people who have managed to press our buttons, so they're not quite as annoying to us, that we can get through the workday with more calm and peace and less annoyance. Number one is self-reflection. Yes, it's the ability to know what is happening within us, because when those people annoy us, when those people press our buttons, it's essential for us to be aware of what is happening. Because so often we externalize the problem. We say, oh, such and such a person is annoying. But we have to take that a step deeper. We have to explore, what is it that they're annoying? Why are they so annoying? What is the button being pressed? What is the value that is being violated within us? Once we have explored what's happening within us, we're better able then to introduce some choice in the moment. So instead of us responding to the person annoying us, we're able to realize that we've been triggered once again and perhaps choose a different response. Number two is to consider the other person's intentions as well. You know, we can ask ourselves what's triggered within us, but it's also great to be curious about them and ask where they're coming from. What's their intention? Why are they maybe so annoyed in the moment? What are some of the triggers that have been pressed within them that are making them respond in the way they are? So number two is trying to see the reality through their eyes, wear their shoes, and see where they're coming from. Number three is to remain calm in the situation. Calm? Calm, you say, Irvine? How can I keep calm? They've annoyed me. Well, this is where our friend mindfulness comes in. It's this ability to introduce into ourselves abilities and skills that help us remain calm even when we have been triggered. So exercises such as breathing, a 7-second reset, all of these I've covered in other videos that you might want to explore after this video, which will give you practical solutions on how you can remain calm even when you've been triggered. Number four is to seek out the perspectives of others. You know, sometimes we can see situations in one way, we can make a story about what's happening, and sometimes we distort reality. Sometimes we rush to assumptions. So it's always good to get some trusted people's perspective on the situation. Now, I'm not talking about here in gossiping and in belittling the other person and spreading rumors. What I'm talking about is taking a trusted mentor or confidant and asking their perspective on the situation. And if they any light or any great questions to ask us that might help us see it in a different way. Number five is to always come from a position of respect for the other person. Even if that person is annoying you, even if they've pressed their buttons, if we disrespect them, we run the risk of ratcheting up the tension and perhaps anger taking over. Always respect them as a person. We don't have to agree with what they're saying, but we should always respect them, and we should always show respect to them. Because if we show respect, we're much more likely to get respect in return. Number six is to watch our nonverbals and to make sure that we're listening. You know, very often when someone presses a button or annoys us, we automatically go into the defensive or we shut down. And that can show itself up non-verbally and also in our listening being shut off. So at that moment in time, try and remain open. Try and remain engaged, even if we don't like what we're hearing, even if we're annoyed. Try and be open and try and continue to listen, because in those moments, we're both showing that we're intending to be engaged, and we're also showing respect non-verbally and through our listening, and we're also likely to pick up greater clues into where that person is coming from. Number 7 is don't take it personally. You know, very often we personalize things. We personalize if people are annoying us, as if they're out to annoy us specifically, chosen us as their victim for the day. But very often people are caught up in their own story. Very often people are caught up in their own reality. And the fact that they're annoying us is lost upon them. So don't take it personally. Perhaps what they're saying, what they're doing, the fact that they're annoying you has nothing to do with us, but rather it's totally something different that's going on in their reality. To the extent that we're able to not take it personally is the extent as well that we're able to view it through neutral eyes and perhaps take a different perspective in what's happening. Number 8 is don't dwell too long on the problems, but try and move to solutions. You know, very often when people are complaining about something that's happening, they can get lost in what's wrong. And so it's wonderful, first of all, to fully listen to what's happening, to listen to the annoyance, to listen to the complaint, but then also to focus a little bit more on what would make this better. What are solutions? What can we do here and now in the moment that might improve this? So yes, listen to the problem, but also move to solutions. Get some sleep. You know, if you're sleep deprived, we all know that we don't function as well. If we haven't a great sleep, we get more annoyed, more triggered, more angry. And so therefore, our potential for being annoyed increases. So try and get a good night's sleep. Make sure that you're not running on empty, because when you feel rested, you're also increasing your ability to deal with others in the moment. You know, one of the things that I used to do when I was annoyed is that I would watch for 5 minutes a comedian or something that would make me happy, something that would make me laugh. Laughter has this incredible ability to help us reframe, refocus, and get us out of the annoyance we feel. So maybe if you're annoyed, turn to a little bit of comedy as well. If you found this video helpful, I invite you to watch the next video, which focuses on how to manage conflict in the workplace. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe as well to the channel. Every week we come out with new content, such as dealing with conflict in the workplace and different ideas that will help you become a better leader and grow your emotional intelligence.